Welcome to the Farzy Show, presented by Destination Retirement, destinationretirement.com. Here from the Steven Sager Studios. Phillies get a crazy win. You could say they saved. They avoided the sweep just barely of the LA Dodgers, and now they head into one of their biggest series of the season as they head into Atlanta to take on the Braves for 4. But I needed to share something with you today, folks, before we get started into anything else. I have realized that I am now, I ice when I golf. How do I say this? I ice after golf years old. I am icing after golf years old, meaning when I play golf afterwards, I now have to ice up. I had to ice up my elbow. I've never had tennis elbow. I don't have tendonitis that I know of. I don't know about any of this. I'll talk to my friends over there at Rothman Orthopaedics about it, but I played in a golf tournament over the weekend, a golf outing, a little scramble action, if you will. And it was for Live Casino in South Philadelphia. The new casino place is fantastic. And I got hooked up to play in this golf tournament where me and Jeff Mosher of Inside the Birds podcast got linked up to play with 2 lucky golfers that drew us. So it was a celebrity golf outing, if you will. And I and Jeff, we met the criteria for a celebrity. So we're feeling pretty good about ourselves. Jeff and I show up at Riverwinds Golf Course, Ron Jaworski's course. Beautiful course. I believe it's the course that he so famously says, "You'll marvel at the views." And boy, did I. If you haven't played it, if you're not a golfer, I'll say this. Some of the best views I've ever seen in any course I've ever played. I'm telling you this right now. And I've played a lot of golf in my time, okay? And you stand across the Delaware River, you see the city, it's beautiful, the Navy Yard, it's absolutely gorgeous from across the river. I didn't know people go out on the Delaware River for, like, recreation around the city of Philadelphia. I did not know that. I grew up in Bucks County for the most part, and we went tubing every once in a while. But that was it. And that was quite a ways up the river. But people are out there on boats. I was like, where am I right now? But they're having themselves a good time. So we get paired up with the 2 really nice guys, and we're their celebrity draw. So, sorry, pal. To the father, Joe and Joe Lewis, Joe Sr. and Joe Jr. It was a pleasure playing with you. So Moshe and I get teamed up, and we're sitting there. We're like, hey, who else is coming out to this? And we're sitting down. We're literally, it's like us at the lunch table, and we're the only kids in the cafeteria, okay? There's a big tent set up for people. And I'm sitting there with Moshe, and we're just talking. We're eating our fruit bowls because I have to eat a fruit bowl before physical activity, years old. And Darwin Walker walks in, former Philadelphia Eagle. Darwin Walker walks in. He says hi, he sits down, and we're talking. It's now the 3 of us. Then Ike Reese walks in, Hollis Thomas, Guest Friday walks in, everything. A lot of Eagles here. Riley Cote from Nasty Knuckles, he shows up. These guys are like, okay, this is interesting. Jaws shows up. And then Dr. J shows up. Jeremiah Trotter was there. All these people were there. I bring their names up. I drop their names, I should say, to be a little bit more honest, only to let you know the pecking order of celebrity that was on hand for such an event. John Clark, NBC Sports Philly, was there, friend of the show. So I'm there, and I'll consider myself the lowest on the totem pole. And Dr. J, right there at the top. Tommy Green was there as well. Mitch Williams was there. So I'll go and I think it's safe to assume Dr. J, I don't know what people paid to play with him. I'm going to go ahead and assume it was far more than what anybody paid to play with me, if they even paid. There's probably like, you know what, if you just want to play, we have a guy, you may probably know. But anyway, he's going to be here as well. So, Dr. J, next thing you know, I'm standing next to Dr. J in some photo for the celebrities, quote unquote. For the people on the podcast, I am heavily adding air quotes to the word celebrity. And I'm sitting next to Dr. J for the celebrity photo. And I'm looking around, and I'm like, this is where, and I've said this before, but this is where I feel really bad for the word celebrity when it's used on schmucks like me. So that was my weekend. If you're watching the show via any of our visual mediums, I am not burned. It was 98 degrees on Saturday, and I am not a lobster. For people that have watched the show in the past, I have been a lobster. many times over after such golf outings. After I played in the Nasty Knuckles golf outing for Athletes for Care, I was a lobster, especially on the old bald dome there, folks. But this time around, I doubt it so much. So that was my Saturday, and yes, my elbow hurts like crazy. Gotta go see those people at Rothman one more time. Well, probably the second of many. The second of many is what I'll say. But either way, welcome into the show. And if you watched that Phillies game yesterday, holy pots and pans, did you watch a thriller? I actually think Joe Girardi was pretty funny after the game, and he didn't mean to be, but the Phillies had no business winning this game yesterday. Zero business winning this game. And I started to keep a little bit of a ticker as far as what went right and what went wrong for the Phillies to actually win this game. And I was beside myself with what the Phillies had to do to win. All right, Garrett Stubbs had to hit his first career home run. What a time to do it. Hit it in the 6th inning. Rhys Hoskins grounded into a double play in the 8th inning to end any threat in a 1-run ball game. That erased a lot of the Phillies' hopes and dreams, unfortunately. Then in the 9th inning, that's when things really started to get spicy. Nick Castellanos leads off with a double in the 9th. You're thinking, all right, you got a runner in scoring position. The Dodgers then call, with no outs, to go for the intentional walk of Kyle Schwarber. Now, in case you're just joining us, no, I don't mean this show. I mean for the season. Kyle Schwarber, we have chronicled his batting average throughout the entire season. And yes, I am well aware that the guy can go yard at any moment. That's what he brings to the table. But Schwarber, going into yesterday, he was batting, I believe, 200 on the nose pretty much. And they decide, we're not going to take our chances with him hitting a home run here. We're just going to walk him and go to Gene Segura. Okay? Gene Segura, who, by the way, has only, for the most part, as guys that play every day and have played every day since the season started, he's only been your best hitter as far as your batting average is concerned throughout the entire season. So Gene Segura steps to the plate. Wouldn't you know it? RBI single. Phillies take care of business as far as that goes. They tie things up at 2 runs apiece. Then things really get spicy in the 10th inning. I don't know what JT Realmuto was doing. He was in the game at the time, I believe, because he was supposed to be playing first base. He had an error at first base. But he gets up to the plate. Or he gets on base, rather. He's on second. Garrett Stubbs steps to the plate again, hits a inside-out pitch, just hit it off the knuckles, basically, to shortstop. JT Realmuto's on second. He watches the throw to first and decides to take third, which he does. A risk, definitely a risk, but he takes third and then thinks the ball gets away from Trey Turner at third base. And instead of staying at third, he then starts to make a pursuit to home plate. Dusty Wathan, third base coach, is yelling at JT Realmuto. Great heads-up player, great ball player. Not throughout this year, but for the most part. As far as thinking things through, as far as never spacing out, JT Realmuto was a pretty damn good ball player. I guess he assumes that the ball is in left field, and he gets up and he starts going for home, takes a couple steps, realizes his grave error, tries to dive back to third, gets tagged out. So now the Phillies are in a real pickle here. They're in the 10th inning. They go down to their final out. Roman Quinn, of all people, steps to the plate, gets a hit, put runners on third and second with 2 outs. Alec Boehm steps to the plate. So Roman Quinn's basically got to come up big for you here. He gets to second base. Stubbs gets to third. Alec Boehm steps to the plate with 2 outs, and you're down a run. Boehm takes a pitch outside by about 2 or 3 inches. For the vast majority of that, he does it with 2 strikes. For the vast majority of that game, that pitch was a strike. Zach Eflin was masterful. We'll get to him, but it was a rather expanded strike zone for both batters, both pitchers, I should say, yesterday. Alec Boehm steps to the plate, takes that pitch with 2 strikes. I believe it was the very next pitch, low and outside. So definitely a ball. Bohm still at this point now decides to protect the plate. Throws the barrel of the bat out there over the plate. Hits a little bouncing ball to second base. Max Muncy, hell of a ball player, who bobbles it. Roman Quinn, fastest man alive, scores from second base. So 2-run score on this error by Max Muncy. Phillies win the game. If you missed that game, it's worth going back and checking it out. Because there were multiple points where I just thought this was going to be another game where a Phillies starting pitcher is dominant, more or less. Only allowed 2 runs, Zac Lavine, over his 7 innings of work yesterday. Struck out 12, a career high, walked 2. I thought it was going to be another dominant outing by a starting pitcher for the Phillies that got no run support whatsoever from this lineup. And in the 9th inning, it all changed. They used every out, every chance they could get to try to score runs. Whatever it was, they squeezed a win out of this slightly damp rag to be able to avoid the sweep at the hands of the LA Dodgers. When I saw the win, when I saw the game end, my first thought was, a win is a win. I flip on the post-game show, Ricky Metallico, first words out of his mouth, a win is a win. They don't ask how, they ask how many. So the Phillies get the win in this regard. Good for them because they certainly needed it, especially heading in to this 4-game series with the Atlanta Braves. So I'm watching this game unfold yesterday. I'm thinking, all right, win is a win. That's all they needed. They needed to salvage a game. Good for them. Good hustle to the Phillies. We'll let you hear from Joe Girardi after the game because he did not say a win is a win. He did not say another cliche like I just used in terms of, they don't ask how, they ask how many. And that's all that matters. But I can't help, even when the Phillies are playing as bad as they played yesterday, and they still win, great. Even when the Phillies do what they did on Saturday, I believe it was, which was Odubel Herrera trying to score from third base with a guy named Mookie Betts in right field, Bryce Harper at third, or Bryce Harper on deck. I'm not trying to score from third if I'm Odubel Herrera. I'm certainly not sending him if I'm Dusty Wathan. But the Phillies lose that game. They lost the previous 2 games of this series. Yaris Familia, what is it you say you do here? Because I don't know. But yet he still keeps getting the ball. They rolled the dice on a veteran arm. That dice roll has not worked out. Snake eyes, I believe. So bad series overall by the Phillies. But I can't help it. Watching this team play, even as bad as they have been playing, I still feel like there are 8 games out of first place right now. I still feel like the Phillies are going to have a very exciting run. I don't know if that's going to be July. I don't know if it's going to be next. I don't know if it's going to be June. June's less than a week away now, folks. I don't know when the run's going to happen. But I feel like there's going to be a point in time during the regular season where the Phillies, to us, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, look like a team that can just not lose. They're going to look like a team where this lineup is just absolutely smashing the baseball. I don't know what it is. It might be just blind optimism. But I just feel like the guys in this lineup, who have to this point already been pretty damn good, are going to be even better. And those games where your pitchers are dominant are going to match up with your lineup being dominant. And I feel like the Phillies are going to give us a run in the not too distant future where we think about this team. Maybe they can contend. The Mets are out to that great start. I just mentioned 8 games up. They're 8 games up in first place right now. Maybe there'll be a situation here where the Phillies actually start to do what we thought they'd do previous to the season, which was rake. And then Aaron Nola does what he does. Zach Wheeler does what he does. Zach Eflin does what he's been doing. And all of a sudden, this Phillies team is looking like something special. Wild card, I think, will be in their reach. Wild card will definitely be in their grasp, which is something that I think a lot of people are going to be focusing on more so than the division. But in terms of just making the playoffs, the bottom line is however they do it, most likely the wild card. I still feel like this Phillies team, with Nick Castellanos and Kyle Schwarber hitting home runs, not necessarily getting on base, but Bryce Harper hopefully getting healthier after he got the shot in his elbow, and seeing these guys, Alec Boehm, continue doing what he's been doing for the vast majority of this season. I still feel like this lineup has a much better version and more consistent version of themselves than we have seen so far to this point. especially one when it comes to matching the performance of your starting pitcher in any given game. I still feel like the Phillies have that in their back pocket, and it's just a matter of time before they're able to put it out there on the table to show everybody what this lineup really has going forward. Because what they've been missing, despite good numbers, second in the league in runs, doing what they're doing batting average-wise, which is also second in the league last I checked, this Phillies team has been doing well. What they have been missing is that clutch gene, so to speak. And yesterday, hey, they found a way to win the ball game. So it's something to throw your hands up in the air and go, I don't know how it happened, but I'm happy about it. Good for them. I was watching the end of that game, by the way, just to put you in where I was here. It was pretty hot over the weekend, as you know, and I referenced it on Saturday. Well, yesterday, Sunday. It was pool time in the backyard for my daughter. So I filled up one of them, my wife bought one of them kiddie pools that have like all the things that you have to blow up all the things that go around the kiddie pool too. So I have the game on my phone and I'm watching the game as I am blowing up this kiddie pool. And my daughter was laughing at me every time I'd be like, oh my God. I had a neighbor yell out, what's the score now? I'm like, they just tied it. I don't know how they did, but they did it. You're not going to believe it. You got to see it. But I'm trying to fill up the kiddie pool while this is going on and shaking the hose all over the place because I was just throwing my hands up with excitement. I couldn't believe the Phillies were actually coming back in it. But how about that, folks? How about that? We're about to hear from Joe Girardi, but before we do, let me tell you about Destination Retirement, destinationretirement.com. My man Mike Seibert is a retirement income certified professional at Destination Retirement LLC and a partner of 1847 Financial and an advisor for Eagles, Sixers, and Phillies fans only. Maybe next year, Flyers fans as well. When it comes to long-term savings, why are you giving up the current enjoyment of your income? The answer is have income streams in retirement. It only makes sense then to understand how retirement income streams work so that you can direct savings in ways that give you the highest income when you retire. Think of it like climbing a mountain. Is the objective just to get to the top of the mountain, or is the objective to get back down the mountain safely? Going up the mountain, your accumulation phase. Most of us right now in your accumulation phase, you're accumulating money. You're getting money. Going back down the mountain is your distribution phase. See how it all makes sense? Mike can explain it a lot better than I can, tell you that much. But how about this? You might be saving for your kids' college education. You might think, well, that's it. I just got to save for it. Well, maybe your college savings can help your retirement savings. Maybe your retirement savings can help your college savings. First step in doing this is to avoid starting your growth cycle over again by depleting accounts like 529s for big expenses like college. So don't do that. Email Mike Seibert at gobirds@1847financial.com. Even how easy is that? GoBirds@1847financial.com or call his office at 484-275-6035. That's 484-275-6035. He'll set you up to make a portal for you in Retirement Analyzer. Then he'll use that software to help you navigate through the different phases of your financial life, including saving for college and saving for retirement. You can also visit his website at destinationretirement.com. That's destinationretirement.com. And as always, go Birds, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, go Phillies. Let me tell you about Steven Singer at Steven Singer Jewelers, the other corner of 8th and Walnut, right there on Jewelers Row, right there in Philadelphia, or at IHateStevenSinger.com. Always fast and free shipping at IHateStevenSinger.com. Go ahead and check it out for yourself right there at the other corner of 8th and Walnut, and you know every single day you're going to get the perfect price. Notice whenever I do a read for Steven Singer, it's not act now, use promo code this, that, or the other. No. The sales every day. If people think I'm kidding, and then they go in there and they see the prices and they're like, oh my goodness, that's thousands of dollars less than the other guy. You know why? Because Steven gives you the perfect price. The other guy is basically seeing what he can get away with. That's what he's doing. He's marking things way up, just to mark it down a couple of bucks. That way when you get there, like, I really negotiated. I'm just so good at negotiating. No, how about you throw that out the window? There's no pressure. No pressure, no haggle, no hassle. At Steven Singer Jewelers. You walk in, you're going to get treated like family at the other corner of 8th and Walnut. And that's why I have gone to Steven Singer for all my jewelry needs for the last 15 years. Because I trust the man and I trust his product. And my wife, she's pretty happy with the product as well. Do what I do. Trust the other corner of 8th and Walnut. Steven Singer Jewelers. One place, one price, the perfect price every single day. IHateStevenSinger.com. Always fast and free shipping at IHateStevenSinger.com. Before I let you hear from Joe Girardi on this Phillies win yesterday, I want to get into some of these Tyrese Maxey rumors that are going on there. Over the weekend, I felt like there was a couple stories that came out regarding Bradley Beal, a couple stories that came out regarding Zach Lavine of the Bulls. For me, it basically comes down to, would you trade Tyrese Maxey for either of those two names? And the answer is, I don't think you're going to have to. And I do think that the Sixers will be in the hunt for both those names. If Lavine wants out of Chicago, I think Daryl Morey will be on the scene. If Bradley Beal does want to link up with Joel Embiid, I think Daryl Morey will be on the scene. But I don't think that the Sixers are going to go much farther with what they have right now in their lineup. We know they need to improve the bench. That's probably the biggest, most ginormous, glaring need they have after this playoff run that they had. They obviously need a healthy Joel Embiid. There's nothing you can do about that. It is what it is. You get an elbow to the face from Pascal Siakam, breaks your face. Chances are you're not going to be that great going forward. But he still put up some 20 points, but still had double-doubles with a broken face and the torn ligaments and fresh off concussion protocol. So Joel Embiid, keep doing what you're doing. James Harden obviously needs to be better. I think Tyrese Maxey will take another step forward next year. But if you somehow are able to flip Tobias Harris, Matisse Thybulle, picks possibly with whatever picks they have left, and then Daryl Morey gets creative after that, and you're able to add Zach Lavine or you're able to add Bradley Beal, I think this team is going to be pretty set to make that finals run. Granted, they bring in some consistent bench players as well, which is, as I said, just a huge glaring need. But to answer the question that I know is out there right now, would you include Tyrese Maxey? No. And the reason I wouldn't, because I know some people, after waiting for Ben Simmons to take that next step in his NBA career and improve his offensive game, some people are a little gun shy when it comes to Tyrese Maxey and what he could do in terms of improvement and how good he can really be. What is his ceiling really? Tyrese Maxey has a completely different mindset than Ben Simmons. And I've always said this about Ben, and this was my worry about Ben even before he was drafted when I was watching him at LSU. Ben Simmons loves what basketball brings him. I'm not so sure he loves the game of basketball. That was my impression of him when he was at LSU. That's my impression of him throughout his NBA career to this point. Tyrese Maxey loves the game of basketball, and he thinks what basketball brings him is pretty cool. You'd rather have the guy that just loves the game. Oh, and by the way, the guy that loves working on the game as well. That, to me, is what you need in this lineup. That's what you need to succeed in the NBA. That's what you need. Tyrese Maxey has that. Most importantly, he has talent. He came into the league with some raw talent. He showed you how much better he could get if you just gave him minutes. He did great with those minutes. You take that talent that he has right now and you put a full summer behind it with work, how much better can he be going into next year? The Sixers, of course, have already depleted a lot of their assets just in the Ben Simmons trade alone. I'm not even talking about Seth Curry. I'm not even talking about Andre Drummond. I'm talking about the picks, which, by the way, the Nets have deferred to next year, so the Sixers are in good shape as far as that first-round pick goes. But they still have depleted a lot of their assets through the trade that they made with Ben Simmons. So with Tyrese Maxey, it would be better to bet on what you have in-house already without having to give anything up. So, yes, I want to keep what I have in Tyrese Maxey. But if I can flip Tobias Harris, if I can get Matisse Thybulle out of town and bring in somebody else, I think you're going to be in a lot better shape. And that goes without saying when you talk about Bradley Beal, you're talking about Zach Lavine. Here's the thing. A lot of people act like Daryl Morey has won 10 championships, and he hasn't, okay? But if Daryl Morey is going to be that type of GM that has at least won one championship, constructed one championship team, and let's take under advisement for a second what old Doc Rivers likes to say, winning is hard. For those that don't know, Daryl Morey, go out there and earn those stripes. Show me a deal here. Show me a deal here in Philadelphia that just blows our mind. Because right now, to this point, the James Harden deal hasn't worked out. I do like the people that say both teams lost the trade. I don't think you're far off. But Harden needs to come back amazing next year and then be amazing in the playoffs, which it's been a minute, especially in a clutch game. You only have 2 shots in the second half. Not good. But show me the deal right here in Philadelphia that puts a stamp on why you're so great, Daryl Morey. Show me that deal. Because if you're able to hold on to Tyrese Maxey, obviously Joel Embiid, obviously James Harden, right? If you're able to hold on to those 3 players and add Zach Lavine and add possibly, or add, I should say, Bradley Beal, oh, you're the GM that people tell me you are. That'll be the deal that really blows me away. That'll be the deal that just makes you go, oh, damn, this guy, oh, wow, he's really that great GM everyone told us about from Houston. Everyone talks about James Harden playing like he played at Houston. How about Daryl Morey GMs like he GM'd in Houston? Maybe even better. Gets to an NBA Finals. That's what I'll take. That's what will make me go, wow, this Daryl Morey is incredible. And I'm not a hater with Daryl Morey. I think he's made some good moves. I still think the James Harden deal still was a good move, but I still think there's a better one out there. He needs a James Harden type deal for the James Harden deal that he made to bring James Harden to Houston. That's the type of impactful deal he needs to make here in Philadelphia. Add to what you have. He doesn't need to get the centerpiece. He doesn't need to get Joel Embiid. He's already here. Go out there and get the main guy. Go get the guy that will add to the party here, more so than James Harden this past year. Because James Harden in the regular season was the guy I wanted. The playoffs, as any Rockets fan will tell you, as any Nets fan will tell you, he wasn't that guy. But when it comes to trying to add to this lineup and Tyrese Maxey being your best trade piece, which he is, I'm not going to say he's not. But if Daryl Morey can find a way to keep Tyrese Maxey here and still add either of those 2 names, Beal or Lavine, oh, man. That's when the party will really start in Philadelphia. And then figure out how you're going to help your bench. Because that whole bench lineup thing, oh, boy. If Doc Rivers is going to be here, bench lineup seem inevitable. We're going to keep our fingers crossed that it doesn't happen like that. So, no, I'm not trading Tyrese Maxey. And Daryl Morey, it's your job to go fleece somebody. Show me you're the GM everyone told me you were. Before we go any further, I wanted to let you guys hear this. This is part of a Rothman Orthopaedics locker room report. In this case, clubhouse report when it comes to the game of baseball. Yesterday, Phillies won 4-3 in a crazy, bizarre way with all the stuff I listed off at the top of the show. Here's Joe Girardi. Now, I've told you before, win is a win. You got to find a way to win. Whatever you want to say. The Dodgers lost the game. The Phillies didn't win it. Whatever. I don't care. Joe Girardi can't have that mindset right now because I do believe Joe Girardi's job is very much in question. Here's Joe Girardi postgame on, the lucky win that the Phillies received, but don't tell Joe G that.
It's a fantastic win. You think about the 7 games we played against the Dodgers. We fought them tooth and nail for 7, straight games, basically. But you get some big contributions from a lot of people. Garrett Stubbs, huge. Roman Quinn gets a big hit and ends up scoring because of his speed. And, one of the things that the reason we called Roman was for his base running ability, just because it's a difference, right? He's the only guy on our team that scores. Probably one of the few in the league that scores. So it's a big win. The pitchers did a heck of a job. Eflin was fantastic today. Double digits and strikeouts against a great lineup. So just a lot of contributions from a lot of different people.
The guy that really sticks out to me is Garrett Stubbs, because this guy I love. He's not afraid to lay down a bunt and try to leg that out. I am blown away by the first thing I noticed about him, though, is walk-up music is Frank Sinatra, That's Life. And I'm like, that's my man. We're best friends forever. But Garrett Stubbs yesterday, 2 for 2. He's only hitting 200, by the way, folks. Just a fun fact right there. But 28 years old, and that was his first. That was his first career home run, which is pretty great to see. But he's had 61 games played at the major league level, and that was the first home run he hit. What better time to do it than in a tight win like what you got yesterday? When you talk about a great win, like Joe Girardi said, I don't believe right now the Phillies are a good baseball team. The record tells you that, because no matter what, your record tells you what you really are. It's the bottom line stat. Can you roll out excuses or explanations as to why they're not? Absolutely. But the Phillies right now are not a good baseball team. Good baseball teams do find a way to win games, whether that's a 2-run error by the other team or that's a legit 2-run home run to walk it off, let's say. The Phillies haven't done enough of that this year to make me go, oh, well, they're a good baseball team. But we have talked many times over the last week about what this 10-game stretch. Phillies lost 2 of 3 to the Padres. Phillies lose 2 of 3 to the Dodgers. And now the Phillies have the 4-game set coming up in Atlanta. This is a huge 10-game stretch that the Phillies are failing miserably. We had great vibes coming off the road trip, winning 6 of the last 8 going into and then just out of the road trip. And now they come home and they win 2 games of 6. That's not good. Now they go on the road again. Maybe they'll be one of the teams this year that are just better on the road. Maybe they're just because they're a new ball club, they get out on the road, they get to know each other. There's good vibes, there's good chemistry going into the ballpark, and they come out feeling a lot better and they perform better on the field. Maybe that's what ends up happening for whatever stupid reason. Baseball players are weird. I say it all the time. But maybe this is the one that gets it jump-started, and I feel like an idiot because every time they show some signs of life or every time they try to find a way to win like they did yesterday, maybe that'll be what jump-starts it. But going out on the road, after the road trip they just had, maybe that's exactly what the doctor needs this early in the season for a new team, because we'll say it one more time, the buzzword, maybe they just need to gel. For whatever reason, gelling seems to work a lot better for teams that are newly constructed as this Phillies squad goes. And by the way, Rhys Hoskins, after he grounded out, I mentioned earlier, after he grounded out in the 8th inning, that double play, slammed his helmet on the ground at first base. He dove into first base. Can I end the debate real quick? Diving does not get you there any faster. I heard them talking about it on the radio yesterday. Diving to first base does not, sliding to first base doesn't get you there any faster. All you need to know is at the end of an Olympic race, the runners don't dive at the finish line. They don't slide, certainly, although that'd be funny. They don't do that. You know why? It doesn't get any faster. Keep the momentum going, baby. Keep running. So just to end that debate. So Rhys Hoskins slides in the first base. I don't know why they do it, but they do it. Show all-out effort, I guess. I don't know. But he slams his helmet into the ground, but that wasn't it. Wait, there's more. He goes into the dugout and starts beating the crap out of a trash can, slamming it down. And I thought, good for him. That, to me, was a rare occasion where I want to see emotion. Because I was doing the same thing. I hear he's grounding out. Right, I'm listening to it on the radio. I go, what is going on here? Because at that point, I was in the car on the way back home. And I go, what the heck is going on here? And to hear the emotion was great. I get home. I see it on Twitter, him just going berserk. And I'm thinking, good. Let this light a fire for Rhys Hoskins. We talk about it all the time for the team. How about Rhys getting a fire lit under him and actually going out there and showing that emotion? Because here's the thing. Rhys, and I've interviewed him many times, he is the type of guy that is as mild-mannered as they come. But he does give a damn about the game. I know that. To see him show that emotion, I think is great. Maybe that's what he needs. Maybe that'll be a little spark for him in the not-too-distant future. Joe Girardi also talked about the inconsistency of this Phillies offense. As I look, it's well documented, especially when you go through the vast majority of this game yesterday and you can't score a run and you get 2 on an error in the 10th inning. Yeah, I'd say it's very inconsistent, especially in back-to-back games. They score, in 2 games, they score a total of 2 runs. End of the Dodgers series, first game of this, end of the Padres series, first game of the Dodgers series, they score a total of 1 run. So inconsistency on the Phillies lineup. Here's Joe Girardi.
When you're not scoring runs, like, people think that you're flat, but these guys are fighting like crazy. I mean, think about the staff that we face, too. I mean, you see the ERAs that they post up on the board. There's a lot of people that aren't scoring a lot of runs on them. And we found a way today to get 1 more than they did.
And that's all it takes. You found a way, which I think is the absolute basis of this. They found a way to win, despite it being a 2-run error in the second baseman that doesn't really make errors. Anyway, that's really what you saw yesterday. That was our Rothman Orthopaedics post-game report. Let me tell you about Rothman Orthopaedics. When you have an orthopedic issue, you need a physician who eats, sleeps, and breathes orthopedics. You need an exceptionally specialized Rothman Orthopaedics physician. They not only specialize in orthopedics, but each of their physicians only focuses in on one area of the body, which means you can have the confidence to get past the pain and be what you were. Visit them one of their 30-plus locations in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, including 4 orthopedic-only urgent cares. Learn more at RothmanOrtho.com. That's RothmanOrtho.com. Hey, folks, brand new sponsor to the Farzy Show. Check out this logo. This is what you're going to be looking for, folks, for the people watching. Versus Game. Versus Game. It's a new app. Download it to your phone and play the game with me. Here's how it works. You download the Versus Game to your phone. You search out Farzy Show. And then you look for whatever prediction I have made. And I'm asking a question this week about the Phillies and the Marlins. Who will be higher in the standings by May 30th, okay? May 30th at 11:59 p.m. Who will be higher in the standings by close of business on May 30th? Who will be higher in the standings, okay? By midnight, 11:59 p.m. Who'll be behind the standings, Phillies or the Marlins? Very simple, binary question. Who do you think will be higher? Now, to give you where we're at right now in this point in time, Phillies are 19-22. Marlins are 18-22. Phillies are 8 games out of first place. The Miami Marlins are 8.5 games out of first place. Both teams at even 500 in their last 10 games. So go ahead, download the Versus Game app on your phone. Search out Farzy Show. Go ahead and click the answer you have to that question. You could win yourself some fine cashola for making the proper prediction on that question. Versus Game. Download it right out of your phone. Have yourself a good time. Look out for Farzy Show, and we'll have ourselves some fun. You can also let me know your comments on Twitter and other social media platforms as well. We'll be having ourselves a good time with Versus Game. So make sure you download that to your phone right now. Let me tell you right now about PHL Sports Station, Philadelphia Sports Station, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs. That's PHLSportsStation.com. Also, don't forget about Freestone Farm CBD. That's Freestone Farm CBD. Do you enjoy CBD? Do you? I was talking to some people yesterday. They love their CBD. I told them, hey, guess what? Fun fact. Promo code Farzy for 20% off at FreestoneFarmCBD.com. FreestoneFarmCBD.com, promo code Farzy. You get 20% off. I'm sure you've tried other brands, but Freestone Farms is simply amazing. It's a great way to calm down after working out, a great way to relax, to lull yourself to sleep. FreestoneFarmsCBD.com. You'll find it all right there. Their great menu, including their tropical tasting Bayox that clocks into the chart-topping 24.1%, and Super CBD, which is half Hindu Kush, and 21%. The genetics of these jars off the chart. There's absolutely nothing synthetic from farm to jar as well. They grow their premium hemp flower in the Garden State itself with organic inputs and IPM. Just one look or smell is enough to know it's CBD done right, and that this product is great for anyone looking to take a natural approach to everything that they put in their body. Oh, and how would you like 20% off? Once again, use promo code Farzy. Promo code Farzy at FreestoneFarmCBD.com for 20% off your CBD order. How about that? Let's jump into our chat check, ladies and gentlemen. See how the great people are doing it here. Let's do the chat check. Mally, what's good? April, Mally, Tavita, Mally. It's Mally. You're very kind. You're very kind. You're your favorite celebrity. I'm your favorite celebrity. God bless you. Mullet, what's going on? Nice to have you. Dan Schwartz. No redhead is disappointing. Is it a little red? Am I a little? It's definitely not bronzed. I'll tell you that much. I will say, due to my last mistake, I did cake on the suntan lotion this time. Like, caked it on. And I even went SPF 30. Usually, I halted around SPF 15. Happily, I'll get SPF 8. But SPF 30 is really pushing it for me. All right? So I feel like that's why I didn't get burnt like a lobster. Mally, see the golden bronze glow. Oh, thanks, Mally. Tavita, the Phillies coaching staff gives me Doc Rivers vibes. I believe that's Tavita, I don't think you're far off. I think a lot of people have the same type of thought in terms of Joe Girardi and Doc Rivers would be driving themselves to the airport to get the hell out of town in the not too distant future. The coaching staff is Duck Rivers on a better. That's funny. Sean Gillespie, what's up, Sean? Wait, April, is that what I? Okay, April's like, did you guys see Yachty pitching this weekend? Pretty sure Pujols caught for him too. I saw them. So I was cruising around SportsCenter over the weekend because I had a jam-packed weekend. So I was trying to anything I might have missed, And I thought that's what I saw because it was the Cardinals. I didn't throw too much attention to it, but I thought I saw Yachty on the mound. So that's what I'll have to go back and check that out again because Pujols pitched last week, and that was his pitching debut at the big league level. Mally, can we please? With praying hands, stop playing Herrera. Mally, if that was something I could do for now, here's the good news. Mickey Moniak is playing. He's on the rehab stint. He's down in Florida. I almost called it Florida or Floorwater. He's in Clearwater right now down there in Florida playing. So hopefully back sooner rather than later. Tyvita, this is not elementary school. Why do they keep letting people that can't pitch? They wait until there's 3 people on base to try to do something. Yeah, Tyvita, I'm with you. Yes, Dan, I think T-Mac did have a good call at the end of that game. Eflin was dealing, you're absolutely right. John Axelband, DeFars. What's up, John? The offense is anemic, terrible to watch. Dan, I agree. Mike Williams, what's going on? Tim Marsh, what's going on? Dan, I know you can say I'm smoking whatever. You can say I'm drinking whatever. But I'm telling you right now, friend, I feel like the Phillies have a big run in them. And I'm not going to say that it's going to make us think that they're going to win a World Series and they're going to make the NL championship or anything like that. I'm just saying, look, are we asking for too much just to ask for a playoff team? The start of the year, that's what we were talking about, a wild card team. There's expansion for the wild card teams. Why not the Phillies? Why not post-game baseball? Tyvita, I think we as Philly sports fans are way too optimistic instead of looking at the facts. Tyvita, I believe that's the first time I've ever seen anyone say that Philly fans are way too optimistic because usually we're on the far other side of that. But Dan, it is hard to watch at times. I agree. Mally, elbow messed up. I swear, ever since Marc showed off that jump shot, he has not been the same. It was a foul shot, Mally. It was a foul shot. And yes, the elbow pops every time I shoot my first shot at a gym. Still, that's always been the case. Kevin, what's up, Kevin? Good morning, bud. Wait, what? Far-Y? Farzy? Can we see you wear a jersey one day? Do you want... Oh, no, I see what you're saying. Okay, Timmy, okay. I wasn't sure if you were being clever or what, but it was just a typo. Joel and Maxey are untouchable. Everybody else is on the table. Mally, I'm with you there, including James Harden. Farzy, can we see you wear... You want me to wear a jersey one day? Mally, Tyvita, Marc with a jersey on over top of his button-up. Yeah, there you go. I'll wear a jersey. I got my old Harlem Globetrotter uniform from when I played for the Harlem Globetrotters, which is why I was once a professional athlete, for 2 minutes, and then I got subbed out because I airballed a 3. But that doesn't matter. I followed it up. I got the layup. And there was some tough defense. A lot of tough defense. Tavita, they already said Maxey is not on the table. That's what they said right now. Let's hope that stays true. John Cheeseborough, the problem is the people paid attention to Houston. Oh, I see what you're saying. The problem is people paid attention to Houston Harden and didn't see him since. So because of that, people are wondering why he hasn't been the guy. All you really need to know is that the season ended with Joel Embiid saying that James Harden is not the same player he was in Houston. Can Daryl Morey be the GM that he was in Houston? Because that's when I'll feel a lot better about this team. Fuji, what's up, Fuji? What's happening? Mike Fuji, the Phillies are fool's gold. Mike Williams, I don't even think they're that good. I don't think they're that good right now. Like, I'm not denying that we haven't seen a great product. I'm not. As I said, the Phillies are not a good baseball team right now. But despite that, I feel like they're going to give us a couple weeks worth of run that's going to make us go, damn, wait, hold on. Could they actually make the playoffs? I'm still going to say that the Phillies are making the playoffs. I'm believing it. I think it happens after they fire Joe Girardi, but ain't the question. Bottom line is, will the Phillies make the playoffs? Yes, I think they will. Mally, see when Marc let the weed take over, all the sponsors are starting to come. Hey, I don't believe you're wrong. I don't believe you're wrong there, Mally. Not even wrong, not even a little bit. What else did I miss? I know I missed some people here. I jumped around a second here. Tyvita, it's getting to the point where I tell people I'm getting ready to watch the Phillies lose, and I'm always right. Well, yesterday you weren't. Yesterday I caught it on postgame where Michael Barkan, friend of the show, Michael Barkan said there was the Mike Schmidt line. The Philadelphia is all about the joy of winning and the agony of reading about it the next day. Look, our job as fans, media, whatever, is not to say, yes, they beat the Dodgers. Wow. Like in a game like yesterday, it's like, you're not going to win too many playing like that because that's the overall point. Everyone knows they won the game. But what should be highlighted isn't the fact that they just won, it's how they won. In the moment, it's okay to say how. At the end of the season, it's more appropriate to say how many. This is a how type of situation. When you win on a 2-run error, and JT Realmuto's making an error at first base, then JT Realmuto makes a heads-up play in taking third, but then makes a boneheaded play in trying to take home after what he thought was a misplay by the third baseman. That's not good. There's a lot of mistakes. And you needed somebody. The thing that really sticks out in my mind has nothing to do with any error. It has nothing to do with a fielding situation or running the bases. The thing that sticks out in my mind is that Alec Boehm took that pitch on the outside. It wasn't on the outside corner. It was a ball. But throughout the day yesterday, that was a strike. Alec Boehm takes that pitch. And on, I believe, the very next pitch, puts the barrel of the bat on the ball on the outside. It wasn't even the outside corner. It was low below the knees and outside the plate. And Alec Boehm drops the barrel of the bat down, hits the bouncing ball there, the grounder, to right at Max Muncy, who's standing there, ready to go, and then bobbles it. 2-run score. And the fact that you had Roman Quinn, of all people, like nobody else scores from second on this team. Nobody. Roman Quinn scored from second base. And you won the game. Like, so many things had to go right for this Phillies team to win. First off, so many things had to go wrong, and then so many things had to go right. Absolutely insane. April, if the Phillies keep Joe G, they won't make the playoffs. Ooh. April, I think you're right. Because I think one of the things that definitely has legit potential in shaking up this team, I think without question, is the idea that this Phillies team gets shaken up by the firing of their manager. And it's happened before. The guy I always think of is Jack McKeon in Florida when he was with the Florida Marlins, and he gets the job and they go on to win the World Series in 2003. And then it'd be hard to find. There have been people that have enjoyed. No, I shouldn't say that. There have been people that have ridden one championship for their entire careers. I don't know if there's been anyone that has enjoyed a championship, the one championship, more than Jack McKeon winning with the Phillies or with the Marlins. Because I just remember he was like on the cover of Sports Illustrated smoking a cigar. I think he did a book tour. Like, he got a lot out of that. I think he was fired like a year or two later. And hey, good for you. Whatever, man. You won a championship. Nobody can take it away from you. But yeah, I think the Phillies team could be that. You know, my guy to replace Joe Girardi was actually Dusty Wathan. And after Odubel going on his own or Wathan waving him home Saturday night, I think it was, whatever it was, I go back to Ryan Sandberg, right? Ryan Sandberg, when he was coaching third base, could not really manage third base. But nonetheless, the Phillies decided to give him the whole team. Hey, you can't manage third base? Well, try managing the whole team. And he quit like a year or two later. Sometimes it doesn't work out too well. But Wathan's got minor league experience, as does Ryan Sandberg, as did Ryan Sandberg, and then he was done. It's wild, man. But I think that would be the guy. I think that'd be the guy to replace Joe Girardi. Maybe that'll be what the Phillies need to shake things up and keep it going. John Cheeseborough, can Morey even be the Morey that unloaded Horford and Josh Richardson? You know, I had forgotten about Josh Richardson because he was here for a hiccup, right? But I forget what I was watching, but they're highlighting the Jimmy Butler trade. Trading for him and then trading him away to Miami and getting Josh Richardson. I'm like, wow. The guy that was the linchpin to possibly keeping this entire process together was dealt for Josh Richardson. Goo. But April, I think you're right. Phillies keep Joe Girardi. They don't make the playoffs. They fire Joe Girardi. They make other playoffs. I'll take the inverse of that as well. Marlins officially go 162-0 against the Phillies every year. That's kind of what it feels like. If they play them 162 times, yeah, that's kind of what it feels like. Oh, and by the way, with the Dodgers taking revenge on the Phillies almost immediately, it kind of shot out of the sky, the idea of the Phillies being the Marlins are to the Phillies as the Phillies are to the Dodgers. The Dodgers kind of took that right back. Thanks to everybody in the chat check. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. If you guys didn't see this, I want to interrupt in the morning rush brought to you by Sky Motorcars, SkyMotorcars.com. If you guys didn't see this, definitely check this out. A lady was at the Eagles Autism Challenge, and I wrote her down in my notes, and I don't have those notes with me. That's stupid, but that's what I did. She met Jason Kelce. She was all tears. Eagles Autism Challenge went off over the weekend. Was fantastic by all accounts. Everything I read about it on social media, Eagles raised a lot of money. Jalen Hurts was out there taking pictures with people. Jason Kelce was out there taking pictures with people. I was lucky enough to reach out to the Eagles, and they helped out a charity that my cousin's involved with. They had asked me for some help. I was more than happy to help. And the Eagles came through big with a signed Devontae Smith jersey and some other gear as well for their efforts to raise some money for the Eagles Autism Challenge. It looked like a phenomenal event, so a lot of credit to them. But if you think about this, and maybe we'll get into it tomorrow because I'll show you the whole video. Wanted to get more into the Phillies today, but is there an athlete, or let's just make it even broader, because my mom growing up, my mom would get starstruck. Like she was into celebrities, loved celebrities and ball play. She loved she still loves baseball. Is there somebody that would actually move you to tears? Like if not tears, who would affect your emotions the most if you met this person? When I met Harry Callis, it was like an oh my God moment. When I met Dr. J for the first time, I was like, oh my God, like blown away. It was Dr. J. I met Special Agent Joe Pistone, Donnie Brasco. I met him a couple of times, and I was like, oh my God, that was incredible. Moved to tears. Don't know if there's a person in existence that would do that, but probably the most excited just because of the personal tie. My mom being from Baltimore, probably would be Cal Ripken Jr. Never talked to him, never met him. I've interviewed his brother a couple times, but that would probably be the most emotional attachment because my mom loves him so much, and she's gotten a chance to meet him. But that would probably be the only one because of the personal attachment, like like he's family friends. But no, just how much my mom loves him. Like that would be the big thing. Sandy Koufax, maybe for my dad, because he was a big Sandy Koufax fan. But is there somebody that would almost move you to tears in any realm, celebrity, anything, whether it be sports, whether it be a actor, actress, whatever, somebody that would move you. We'll get into that a little bit more tomorrow, so just to prep you on tomorrow's conversation. Also, I would love to get into the whole Maxey ordeal a little bit more. I've been trying to land Keith Pompey. He's been a busy man, and we'll get him on the show, and we'll talk about what the likelihood is of adding that big name to the Sixers lineup. Phillies do start that 4-game series today with the Atlanta Braves. I've really been enjoying the 6:45 start times, and today, because it's Atlanta, we're at 7:20. It's not the 7:35 start time that it always was, but it is the 7:20 start time in Atlanta. Zach Wheeler gets the ball against Tucker Davidson today. Righty versus lefty matchup today. Wheeler is 2-3 on the season with a 3.49 ERA. Davidson 1-0 with a 5.87 ERA. He is getting the start for the Braves today. He has only appeared in 2 games so far this season, starting one of them. It was a 5 scoreless inning performance against the Milwaukee Brewers back on May 17th. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, everybody. This is the Farzy Show presented by Destination Retirement, destinationretirement.com. Don't forget, download the new app Versus Game right there to your phone. Check out Farzy Show and let me know whether or not you think the Phillies or the Marlins are going to be in first place by 11:59 p.m. on May 30th. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. It's the Farzy Show presented by Destination Retirement, destinationretirement.com. Live from the Steven Singer Studios every day beginning at 6 a.m. Jim Hyden produced the program, did a wonderful job. It's a Buzz Sports and Entertainment production. I'm Marc Farzetta. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.